my grandmother and my grandfather, and we used to go there almost every week. My father would drive us there on a Sunday, and that's where we would sometimes meet our cousins and my aunts and uncles, and it was very, very nice in those
What
days.
city was that?
Dorchester, Massachusetts. And my Bobby was very sweet. She was a homebody, and I don't think she was ever really happy in this country. Uh, Zadie came over 7 years before she did, and he threatened her with divorce if she didn't come over finally. So she reluctantly took the little children and she came here. And that was it. And then when they were here, they had one more child, Uncle Harry.
Uh-huh. And what were their names, your grandmother and grandfather?
Well, the family name was Barchat,
Uh-huh.
but the uh, but when Zadie came in through the immigration, I think this is a put on. I don't
No.
think.
No, we're
When
asking.
Zadie
She's recording.
came in, when my grandfather came in through immigration, they couldn't pronounce, the agent couldn't pronounce Barchat. And so he said, okay, Goldstein. So my grandfather went through many, many years with Goldstein, and finally, in the years before he passed away, he wanted to die an honest man. So he changed it back to Barchat, thereby stranding my Uncle Harry and his
Oh,
children.
no.
And so that's why, actually, that was the name Barchat. And that was the name in New York of that part of the family because, as I said, my grandfather's brother went to New York, and that was the relationship.
Where were your grandparents from? Outside of the United
They were
States?
from Ukraine, but they didn't. Uh, well, they met there. They got married there, and then they came here, as I say, separately.
What village were they in?
Oh, Baranovka.
Were they both in the same village?
I'm not sure. I think so.
Is that your mom's parents?
My mother's, right, from my mother's side. I never knew my father's parents.
So you didn't know where they were from?
Well, my father came from an area that was the Franz Joseph Empire. And it was Poland. It was probably Poland, but I'm not sure.
Do you remember what town?
Yes, Augustov.
Cool. And how did your father had an interesting journey to the United States? Can you tell us a little bit about
Well, my
that?
father left home as a young man. Is this practice for the real thing, or
No, this is
am I
the real
real?
thing.
He's recording.
Anyway, my father left home actually as a teenager, and he peddled his way around Europe, and he was caught. I remember hearing he was caught in a snowstorm in Sweden, and a family literally rescued him from being frozen to death, and they
Wow.
took him into their home. And they liked him very much. They wanted him to stay in Sweden. He had black curly hair at that time. But he wanted to go on, and he finally saved up quite a bit for those years. And when he came into this country through Galveston, Texas, he had 700 American dollars, which was a lot
Wow.
of money at that time. That was before World War I. That was, around 1910, about 1910 or so. You have the document.
Yes, I do.
Now, I gave him the document because I want to pass
I
it
have
on
the
to the
document.
family.
I have the document.
Aye.
You have, in other words, the citizenship
Yes.
information. And that's it. By the way, Bobby came to this country. They sent her by cabin class, not steerage. They weren't wealthy people, but they wanted her to be reasonably safe, so they sent her by cabin
Thank
class.
you.
Uh,